Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching Newspaper Review on High Impact Television. Olumide and I have taken a look at the stories making the rounds of the front pages of the dailies. Right now we are joined by our guest in person of Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, a legal practitioner who joins us via Zoom this morning. Good morning, Barrister Abdulhamid. Thank you for joining us on the Newspaper Review.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a
It's my
pleasure.
privilege to be with you.
Yes, thank you. Let's delve straight into the business of the day. I'm sure you're aware of the current protest, nationwide protest that the NLC has embarked on. And they started yesterday, and that same yesterday they had a meeting with the president. Shortly after the meeting, we got an update about how federal government is suing them for contempt of court in regards to a standing order from the 5th of June 2023, stating that we took the quotes earlier, stating that the NLC or the TUC should not embark on the planned industrial action or strike. But what we're seeing now is a protest, and now the federal government have come out and said they will sue them for contempt of court and they're liable to jail term. Let us understand your perspective. Help us make sense of all of this.
Yeah, thank you. I would say it's within the right of the federal government to take any legal action they think they have the right to do. And it is within the right of the labor to also defend themselves. I will not be going to the merit of the case because, if truly they file that action in a contempt proceeding in court, it will be subjudice for me to look at the what's it called, at the merit of that case. But for me, labor has said it clearly that what they are doing is not strike. What they are doing is protest. And what we are aware of was that the order that was granted was against going on strike. And even I'm not aware of any order that has been granted regarding the protests. And even if there's any order, as far as I'm concerned, that order will be unfortunate because the right to protest is guaranteed by the Constitution. And unless there's other issue that will make it impossible, then it's within your right to say, I'm not going to do it again. Not for anybody to say, don't do it. I'm not saying the court don't have order to right to make an order suspending or restraining you from going on protest. But I'll be saying it will be unfortunate if that happens. And unfortunately, we are seeing people who are protesting for government, pro-government. They are Sadi Dokuba and co. We have not seen anybody talks about this protest will cause wahala or will be attacked. It's only when the protest is going to be against the government policy. That's when you hear the word it will be hijacked. We can't guarantee that there won't be any destruction. We can't guarantee this and that. I think government should stop this antic. It's not normal in the democratic system. We have the right to protest. Everybody has the right to protest, and labor has the right to protest. So if the government is going to court for contempt proceeding, so is their right. They have the right to go there, and I believe labor also will have the right to engage a lawyer to defend them in that proceeding, and
Right.
they agree with that.
Right. Earlier, businesses and all forms of operation was still ongoing, even with the protest that began yesterday. But this morning, there's an update about how banks, businesses, offices are going to shut down because of this. And Labour have directed their members to shut economic activities to attend court proceedings. Looking at the current economic situation of the country, do you think this is a step in the right direction for us, just because we want to have our needs met or our voices heard?
I think that position has changed. That position has changed. Labour, I think, he has suspended his planned protest to be able to engage more with the presidency. You recall yesterday that during the protest, they had a meeting with the president for about 30 minutes or so, according to them, and in their own view, based on what they say they have a commitment and promises from the president, and based on that promises and commitment, they directed that all protests will be suspended to have more engagement. For me, it's not good enough for me, and I won't take labor seriously whenever they want to go and strike. We are not, because I don't believe what they went on protest for was to get commitment and protest and promises. Promises are already on ground. We have had so many promises. We have had so many commitments made by the government. Even documents signed. ASU strike was there. ASU agreement was signed in 2009. Today, it has not been implemented. So many agreements were signed, or memorandum of understanding was signed in the last administration. Nothing has been done. In fact, even this current government, initially when they came here and the labor was trying to protest or to go on strike, there was negotiation, and they were told nothing will happen again, or they set up committee. While the committee was not even had not even started sitting, the government went again and increased the pump price. Though they say it's market forces that determines that. So as far as I'm concerned, you believe the government promises labor it will be at their own peril. For me, I don't have that confidence. I don't have that trust. I don't believe in promises of government because so many of them have been made. One of the promises they are talking about is that they said they have been assured that refinery will work in December. Is that's not new to me. That promises of refinery will work is not new. Even during the military, we were being promised that refinery will work. When we get into democracy during Obasanjo, we have been told it would work, and so many money was spent on the turnaround maintenance, what they call TAM. And then even the last administration, I remember that one vividly, that the former Minister of State of Petroleum, Ibe Kachuku, said that if refinery did not work in 2019, hold me responsible, and they will resign. The former governor of Bayelsa State, Silva, and the immediate past Minister of Petroleum, State of Petroleum, said the same thing, that in one year, 8 months, the refinery will work. This is 2023. It's not working.
All
and
right,
somebody is coming to give you promise again that it will work in December, and you want to go with that. Even recently, Dangote refinery was commissioned in May, and we are told it will start operation in July, as it started operation.
All right, Barrister.
So for me, I don't want to believe in that promises.
I just wanted to ask you this question now. The NLC have a track record of going on strike, calling on strike, and the government not meeting their demands. So let's move further. My question now is, in the event, now they are back on the table with the president, in the event that the president or the federal government do not yield to all their demand, what other methods, what process can they embark on to drive home their demands, to make the government listen to them and meet their, not just listen, because we've gone beyond listening, is to implement these demands?
For me, I think as a Nigeria that has been in Nigeria for at least over 40 years, I don't know any other means by which a government can be called to order, except by protest or strike. That is the only language they understand. So when you say you want to strike or you are going to protest, that's when government will remember that you are asking for something. If you don't do that, they will not. So for me, I don't know that if there's any other option than going on strike or going on or doing protests. The government in Nigeria are not sincere in a way. That's my own thinking and in my own reasoning. They are not sincere. They've not been going. They've been going against agreements signed by them. They've not been implementing. Enforcement and implementation has been our problem. They've always made promises and then they refuse to implement and enforce. And that's why I am one of those. I am not applauding the recent promises by the president when he made his broadcast, because I see all those things in what he has said are still mere promises, mere rhetoric, just like we have been having before now. So until I see implementation, I won't believe in any promises. And for me, I think it's going to be even difficult for us to go out of this circumstance that we have today, that we deliberately put ourselves into it by, or not let me say we, that the government deliberately put us into, because we are into this circumstance or into this situation because of lack of the well thought out policy of the government. Especially the two major policies by this current government: the subsidy removal and the forest what's it called, alignment. So those are the issues that were. So how they will solve it, those issues, the consequences or the effects, negative effects of those of those policies is what is giving us problem now. So how they will resolve it, I don't know. Even those things that have been rolled out by the president cannot resolve it. How many grain they say they will roll out 200,000 or 200 whatever grain of rice? Is that what people will be eating for years? If you are being told that, look, these policies that were brought out, the consequences that you are seeing now, the effect you are seeing now, will only be for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, 1 month, 2 months. Then you can say, okay, this thing you are bringing out will serve as palliative, pending when those 2 months will elapse. But this one, we don't even know. Even the government that is bringing it out doesn't even know whether it will work or not. It's just a try and error as far as I'm concerned. So as far as I'm concerned, if anybody is believing the promises that's been made and you rely on that, that person is he doesn't understand the system.
All right, Barrister, let's look at the Senate also, because they also should be able to wade in. They should be able to sit and deliberate on how they can be sort of like a mediator between the federal government and the labor union. Also, another question. Yesterday, during the protest in Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki made a statement saying that this palliative, he doesn't believe in this palliative, that the federal government should disburse these funds to the local government, that they are the closest one to the people. Let's have your reaction on that.
Well, generally, I don't even believe in palliative. I don't believe that this palliative can even resolve the issue on ground, just like I said earlier. There is no palliative that can solve the crisis that is on ground. With 50,000 naira that will be given to the SMEs or whatever, that they may not even get it, or that only few people will get it. Will it resolve the issue of increase in the school fees to all Nigerians? Will it cure the problem of transportation cost? Will it cure the problem of associated with other goods and commodity? These are issues, and it's going to be difficult. That's why I say we have put ourselves in a mess that it may be difficult to clear. The only thing that can clear is to go back to go back to where we were before the president came in. In other words, maintain subsidy back, restore it, and then let's see what will happen. Because I don't understand the situation whereby when you say we are paying subsidy, life is not this hard. Now that I say you are removing subsidy, life is now more harder, and people are now crying. People cannot even go to offices. You can see the road is very, very empty. People cannot even eat enough. The school will come in now. You see what will happen when the school resumes. So many people may not be able to go back to school. So these are the issues. So what palliative can you give? Those 70 billion or how many billion they want to give to the manufacturers, how many people will benefit from it? How many ordinary Nigerians will get the benefits? And those are not even immediate solution to this problem. Those money they will give to farmers, where would the farmer? Why would they farm? Is it the same farm where security is not allowed them, insecurity is not allowed them to stay? Where would they? Where would they? What would they? How many months? How many years will those things materialize for them to be able to reap the fruit of their labor in the farm, or for us to see the gain? So the transport, they say they are bringing 3,000 transport or whatever. This transport they are talking about, 3,000 divided by 36 or 37, that will give each state maybe 81 buses or so. Look, a local government with a 40 local government. That means that only one or two will go to each local government. What would that cure in the system? So as far as I'm concerned, we are already in a mess, and no amount of money sharing can solve this problem. The one they are saving will still be taken away by some other people. You can see the last month or so, we were told they share more money because of they save money from the subsidy. Yesterday we heard from Agero saying that, look, no money was saved. The president in his budget and in his broker said that 1 trillion was saved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yesterday we heard from him. He said that no amount, that this committee said they are not aware that any amount has been saved. So
all right,
you can see the issue here.
Right. There seems to be some sort of
Distrust,
yes, from different sides, from the side of the federal government. But before we wrap up with you, because of our time, very quickly, in about 1 minute, let's get your thoughts on the ministerial list. You know, yesterday we got update about how the second list and 19 names have been released. Oyetola, Bagudu, Lalong, and others made it to the list. In your perspective, what's your thought on this list?
It's not against my expectation. It's same of the same. I'm not surprised that we are seeing same. It's just a list of compensation or people who can win election in 2027. They are work planning towards 2027, and they are not thinking about developing about our governance. They are just thinking about people who can deliver their state, who can make things happen in their state in 2027. These are just compensation for people who lost election, people who have been rejected by people. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not surprised anyway, because I've said it, that the list will be made up of former ministers, former governors, former senator, former House of Rep member, and some other people who have held a key position in the administration. So it's not new to me. I'm not surprised about it. But it's same of the same. So I'm not expecting that anything good. I'm not a prophet of doom. But you see, I believe in the institution. It's not about prayer. It's about what you see. What I'm seeing on ground, we have not seen anything. I'm not seeing anything different. I'm seeing same of the same. And you cannot be doing the same thing the same way and expect different results. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not having a high expectation regarding any result from this. You say we are talking about cutting costs, and the president is increasing the number of ministers that we're having. We have 42 before now. Now we're having 47, and we don't even know whether it has stopped.
That's another issue, because
so
that's another
as far as
issue.
I'm concerned, you are being asked to tighten your belt, and the government is enlarging its coast. So you can see the contradiction in the government policies and what we are having today. For me, I'm not expecting anything new from this government. This is like a continuation of Buhari administration. In fact, even worse for me now.
Right. Wow, that's quite a huge one there, I must say. But we have to wrap up with you now. Thank you so much for joining us, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, on the newspaper review this morning. It's been a delight speaking with you.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was Barrister Abdulhamid, a legal practitioner. Quite some
Yes.
thoughts there. Quite some thoughts there, I must say. You know, when he was breaking down the 3,000 buses,
Yes.
by the time he broke it down, states by 36
Yes.
and local governments, you actually ask yourself, is that actually going to suffice? Imagine having one bus to one, or one bus to two local, because it might not even go around. So how sufficient is it? How sustainable is it?
Yes.
How realistic is this? We really need to look into these
They
issues.
really need to look into it. I think that's the reason why Godwin Obaseki, Governor Godwin, said yesterday that the local government are the closest. I think they need to sort of like
incorporate and work hand in hand.
Work hand in hand with the local government. They know these people. They are the closest ones. They will give you the facts and
But
figures.
in the real sense of it, how many people even know their local government chairman? Do you know your local government chairman?
Well,
Does your local government chairman even reside in the local government you stay?
true.
So
You're true about
there's
that.
that part of local government chairmen do not even know what is happening in their local governments.
True.
A lot of people just take the title, oh, I'm a local government chairman, I'm in charge. Most of them do not have an idea.
Yes.
The people in their community don't know where they stay. They've
yeah.
relocated.
Yes.
They are probably living
Outside the local government.
very far.
Very
So
far.
there's so many disparities in all of this, I must
Yes.
say. But amidst all of this, we can only just hope and pray for a better Nigeria. We can only just hope and pray that things get better and Nigerians experience ease. That's the word. But that's as much as we can take this morning. Our time is fast spent and we have to wrap up the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a delight speaking to our guest and, you know, having you watch us live today. Remember to follow us across our social media platforms at High Impact Studios, High Impact TV, and News Around the Globe _ I am Sarah also, and do stay safe.
And it's been a pleasure staying with us on the newspaper review on High Impact Television. I'm Olumide Shokoya. Stay safe and have a lovely day.